Greetings. Welcome to Vybz and Tribe Podcast. My name is Amaru, and this is my sexy wife, Shana. Doing the robot.
Thank you, handsome. Pick me up by the back. Come on. No, the back. Thank you, handsome. We are our Essence of Serenity, and again, this is our podcast where we like to sip tea and invite you to the table to have conversations with us. I will let them know what we're sipping on. Is that okay, or did you want to?
Go on, let them know.
Okay, so let me eye it over here so I don't mess up the name. We actually are mixing it up today in celebration of Halloween or Hallows Eve, and we will be drinking Health Aid Kombucha, which is the pink lady apple. So we drink this often. It's just trying to remember the names is, a lot. So we kind of have the bottle propped up to give the name. But would you like to tell them what we'll be doing for our Halloween, Hallows
sure
Eve?
Okay, Foxy Brown.
Thank you, Prince.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing our thing with this pumpkin as far as crafting it up, drawing some things on it, making a face, and telling y'all about some interesting stories from our past that are, paranormal, spooky, scary, however you want to define it.
Ooh. You ready? Look, y'all, I'm struggling trying to get
take
this
on Halloween and how we incorporate our ancestors.
Yes. And I know we mentioned that we were going to get mini pumpkins, but we could not find any mini pumpkins because we were going to decorate two separate pumpkins. But thank you, because these nails, it'll just be easier for us to work on one together. So this is actually going to be a challenge for us, having to tell we're calling them stories, but like my husband said, it's things that have actually happened to us while we decorate a pumpkin together, so that we're not holding y'all up. And if y'all have any anything planned for Halloween, you can still get to it after this episode. So did you want to start, or did you want me to start? I have a list on my phone.
You go ahead, start.
Okay. Let me see. So, I remember years ago, I want to make this the face of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so you want to do the eyes while I tell the story, and like the nose and the mouth, and then
that telepathy film.
See? Okay, so years ago, I think this was like it was my second apartment that I had. I actually lived in it by myself. And so one morning, I woke up, and let me tell y'all, I do not believe that I was asleep, because I actually woke up. And when I woke up, I heard the dishes. What are you laughing at?
Go ahead, keep going.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working now.
I heard the dishes in my kitchen area rattling. Like, it was so noisy in there. And mind you, this came after I had a dream the night prior that there was a fire in my kitchen. And it's like I used to have these two candle holders, one on each bedside, and the dream seemed so real. They call it lucid dreaming. I had a dream that both of these candles, well, it wasn't even a candle in them in the dream. The candle holders caught fire. And it's like I had to hurry up and get out of the apartment, and it was so noisy in the apartment in my dream. And so when I woke up the next morning, I'm laying in my bed, and I just hear, it sounds like my dishes in the dishwasher in the cabinet, like they're just rattling, like making a bunch of noise. I told my sister about it, and we used to have this thing to whereas if something was going on in our apartment, the other one would come over. Even one of my close cousins, we would come over, and now I say speaking words of upliftment, but uplifting words, but back then I would say pray. So we kind of just prayed over the apartment. But let's just say, I won't go into detail because this story directly involves my sister, but let's just say after we did that, let's just say my sister got to experience some stuff that happened in the apartment as well. So you want me to finish the eyes while you tell your story?
No, I'm almost done. So, as far as my situation, as I was growing up, I want to say damn near every house I grew up in was haunted. And I'm talking haunted in the sense to where I now have a better understanding of it, so I won't go too much into detail. But there were certain things being conjured within the home, and I'm going to leave it at that. But I just thought it was just, I don't believe in coincidences, but it was just one of those situations to where it's like, oh, damn, another house to where we got some situations popping off that don't make no sense logically, but I'm seeing it before my eyes type stuff. So there's one particular occurrence where I want to say I was maybe 8, 9. And I had a family member that was about 2 years younger than me. And I seen something come across the hall. So you know how black folks is. We ain't gonna, go by ourselves. So we like, yo, I think I seen something, come check it out with me. So I seen it walk inside the garage. Crazy enough, I didn't hear no door open or close, but I seen it go into the garage. And as we're walking, when we go into the garage, we open the door and there was a mirror placed up against the wall. And all our attention went towards this particular mirror. And the crazy thing about it is it was like something, it's hard to explain. Like it's not like something was calling us, but it was in the sense of trying to communicate. And that particular family member was in front of me. And as he was getting closer, all of a sudden, I'm like, something about to happen. The mirror shattered. It shot at us. In other words, it was almost as if somebody was on the other side of the mirror and something kicked the glass right at us. And he put his hands out and it got all in his hands, cut his fingers up. He had to get stitches. It looked like something out of a horror movie because he was screaming and running and I'm screaming and running after him. And there's literally blood being shot all over the walls and whatnot. Like, it was absolutely crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's the type of stuff. Like, that's just one example of things that would pop off in that house. One of the many houses, I should say. And this actually happened the house in Camden Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me see, which one am I going to tell next? Okay, so you want to kind of clean up the hair for me?
Yeah, I got you.
So one time, it was a guy that I dated. I was actually at his house, and he had left that morning, and I was still in the bed sleep. And I had heard this couple, and it's like I could tell the race of the couple. It was a Caucasian couple. I heard this couple in the living room, like they were just going at it, like they were just arguing back and forth. And I just knew, I was thinking like, oh my God, it's about to get physical. And so as I'm laying there, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just hearing stuff. Maybe I'm not actually hearing what it sounds like I'm hearing. Don't get it on your sleeve. Mm-hmm. But there was a dog. He had a dog that was laying on a little doggy bed next to me, and I'm like, okay, the dog is just sitting there looking normal, like like he doesn't hear what I'm hearing. And with that, I'll say this for other people that may experience this as well. Let me put a disclaimer: I am not crazy. Now for some people it may be a mental disorder, but once again, I feel like that stems from something spiritual. But I do believe that just like some people have the gift of sight, where they can see certain things that other people can't see, I believe that there is the gift of being able to hear things that other people may not be able to hear, because you have to remember that what happens in the physical is merely just a mirror of what's going on in the spiritual. So, did you want to tag me back in and you?
All right. So this particular situation was more towards a particular night where I had got in trouble. I forgot what I had done.
Better.
Right. But needless to say, I had to go to sleep with nothing in the tummy.
Oh, poor baby.
And no, it's all good. And it was raining hard that night. So, of course, you can hear the trees moving and whatnot. and the wind was blowing really hard. And where our room was, it was upstairs, and to get to the room, there was a hallway, and you could always tell when somebody was in the hallway because it would creak. Even from downstairs, you could hear it. So, like I said, this was late at night. It's thundering like crazy. And we're hearing creaking in the walls, but nobody's upstairs but me and him. And we're hearing scratching along the walls as it's walking closer and closer to the room. And I don't remember what came through that door. All I know is there's a lot I don't remember about that night. All I know is I can remember what led up to it, and it was crazy. Because we that particular house had a lot of situations that popped off, as far as doors being slammed in your face to stuff being flown across the room. Like it got to the point to where it was expected.
Yeah.
But that particular night, yeah, it was pretty bad.
You said it was raining?
Yeah, it was raining real bad. It was a thunderstorm.
Let me see. Okay, I have one.
Okay.
So, one time, again, this includes my sister. This was years ago. We were in the bedroom, and she was on one side of the room, and I was on the other side of the room. And so we're sitting there and we're talking. I do believe that it was like a Saturday, because I think we had just came back from somewhere. And so I can see shadows of things. I can't actually see things in the spiritual, but I can describe it to you as if I can see it. So she's seeing this thing go from me to her. And so as she's seeing it, I'm feeling it. And so I'm describing to her where it's at, whose side of the room that it's on. And she's just confirming for me that, yeah, it's like, and at one point it was on my back, and then at one point it was on her back. But that's not like the first time something like that has happened to us, to whereas it's like she's able to physically see something and I'm able to describe it as if I see it. Like, I don't physically see it, but I can describe the features to you that I'm seeing in my mind. So I'm gonna add some yellow. You got another one? Before you tell that,
oh yeah,
let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsors.
Our sponsors for today are Zenful Vybz, a holistic aspect of our essence of serenity. In today's product, we will be presenting the Elixir. This is a natural concoction that consists of a vast amount of earthly properties infused with both healing and rejuvenating the cellular structure of our unique anatomy. With the assistance of the ancestors and holistic dedication, it is confidently assured to aid and produce miraculous results. This natural compound has been supercharged with high vibrational energy to provide healing properties as far as eliminating pain. This should only be applied as external use only. It should not be taken orally. There are two variations of this elixir. You have the regular, which consists of mimosa bark, arnica, bee oil, and peppermint oil. And then you have the premium, which is more profound, more potent, and more powerful, which consists of everything of the regular, but it also contains snake oil. The type of mimosa utilized in this elixir is from a root tree bark, and it is good for cellular regeneration. It treats wounds, burns, and alleviates pain. The bee oil more so treats arthritis, inflammation. It assists in skin care, assists in backaches, and joint pain. The arnica treats bruises, swelling, broken bones, sprains, healing wounds, muscle aches, joint pain, insect bites, also good for inflammation, as well as superficial phlebitis. And for those who desire the premium, the snake oil is good for pain relief. It reduces inflammation. It's also good for skin care and muscle aches. For more information about this product, please visit our website, ouressenceofserenity.net, under the tab Zenful Vybz Holistic Products. And we're back.
Yes, yes, yes.
So my next story, there's a lot that I want to share, but I'm going to hold off on certain things on later episodes. But I will speak on this particular matter. It wasn't more so paranormal. It was just something I actually seen when I was fishing and crabbing when I was a kid. As we were packing up and leaving for the day, I look in the water and I seen this. All I can remember was the eyes, bro. Like, the eye was about this big, and it was looking up at me, and it seemed as if it had a long claw. Like, it almost looked like an oversized lobster type thing. But I'm talking about the size of a car. Like, this thing was huge. And it was just staring at me. And I remember just running off. And my whole thing is, as I ran, because it was on a pier, I'm afraid of actually running too fast or getting my foot caught up in one of the pieces of wood and I fall in the water. So I'm literally having to V-line this thing in the center to run and get in the car. But yeah, that was the craziest thing I ever seen in the water.
Did you go crabbing again after that?
I don't think I went back to that spot. Not that I can remember. But
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was absolutely crazy. And of course, I was the only one that seen it.
Okay, I have one more to share with y'all, and this is actually going to go into us talking to y'all about what Halloween means for us, what it represents. So this was back in 2008. I can remember because this was the year that my grandmother passed away. And at the time of her transitioning on, she actually did her hospice care at our home. And so this was like, so when this happened that night, I thought, oh my God. And so my sister actually stayed the night. And so me and her, at the time I lived with my parents. So my sister was laying in the bed next to me. She was asleep, but I was still awake. But I had all the lights off in the room. And so she woke up. And I guess whichever colors you want to use. She woke up very briefly and she was like, oh my God, that side of the room is dark. So my bed was kind of pushed up against the window. And then over here was like my TV and like an open space. So she was referencing this space over here. And she was like, oh my goodness, it's so dark. And so right when she said that, she fell back asleep. And I heard my grandmother laughing. Like she had this this distinct laughter that I remember her having. And so I knew that, of course, this was something spiritual that I was experiencing, but she was basically letting me know, like, you know, she's about to transition on. And some days before that, some of my family members, have y'all ever heard them say that when a person passes on, sometimes a person that has transitioned on prior to them, maybe not I guess directly before them, but even like some ancestors where it may have been years ago may come back for that person. Well, her mom, one of my dad's aunts, I believe, saw her mom in a corner in the living room where we had her hospice bed set up. That was days prior. And so my grandmother was basically telling me that, yeah, you know, my mom is here. She, you know, she came for me. And that, you know, she's about to transition on. And she also told me some things that, you know, I'm not going to share on here. Not anything bad, but more so some things that are sacred and personal. And so I'm laying in the bed and I'm thinking to myself, oh, my God. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, my God, like she's transitioned on. And I'm like, do I go wake my dad up out his sleep? And tell him, like, what do I do? But needless to say, she did not. But I want to say either that next day or the day after she did transition on. That experience taught me a lot, that when it comes to someone transitioning on, it's not like, and I'll say in the situation that she was in, it wasn't like, okay, there's an instant death, like the soul leaves the body like that. It literally is a transition phase that a person goes through. And I believe that sometimes the soul leaves the body maybe even days or however hours prior to the body actually shutting down. So that goes into the whole thing with us about to go into what Halloween means for us, so that you want to.
Yeah, so pretty much Halloween is not just necessarily the day, the very last day of the month. It's actually a whole period within the month going into November as well. As far as times that we give tribute to our ancestors, and there's a lot more frequent activities that occur around us, and not in a bad way, but more in a confirmational way, through synchronicities, through actual interactions, through uploads, through downloads, through dreams. Like, there's so many things that take place as far as the sanctuary that we've established within our home.
And can I say this?
Yeah.
When he says uploads, he's speaking of when you tend to get messages from God, the universe, Most High, your ancestors, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. And they're more so can be messages. Like I said earlier, they could be more confirmations of things that you've already spoken into existence, or things that you've already foreshadowed. But it's almost like the movie Coco, pretty much. Giving tribute to your ancestors, making sure that you honor them in a way that makes them feel as if they're still existing in your life, especially if they want to be there.
I agree. So one thing that we also want to add is that like my husband said, at this time, the veil is thin in October, and that's more so where you may have more spiritual encounters. If you want to know how to decipher a trickster spirit, because those are also real, we actually have a video about that we will post somewhere on this screen. But at this time, we would like to invite you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, share this video. Of course, every video that we put out has a message in it, so you don't want to get in the way of the universe, God, the Most High, whatever you would like to call the higher power, being able to convey the message to them. Be sure that you comment down below. Tell us about some experiences that you've had. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure that you check out our website, www.ouressenceofserenity.net, where we make high vibrational handcrafted jewelry, as well as we write blogs. You could check out our portfolio, where we do our artwork. You can also check out the sponsored product in this video, which is under our Zen for Vybz Holistic tab. Make sure that you definitely subscribe to this channel, because every month we do drop a monthly energy read for the month going into the month that's coming up. So you definitely want to tune into that, so that you can be some steps ahead of what's to come. Also, let me say this before we get out of here. Well, before we show you our pumpkin, and then before we get out of here, we would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to those who have been tuning into our video. I know that the video that we posted prior was a pretty lengthy video, but like, we really just have to shout y'all out, because y'all watched it, you commented, you shared, and we had so much fun making that video. My husband, he edits our videos, and he did like an amazing job.
Appreciate you,
of course. Telling the story of our family vacation. Also, thank you to our new subscribers. Thank y'all so much. Like, every subscriber counts to us. We're not the type that's like, oh my goodness, we have to have 100 this month, 200 next month. We're growing, and we're going to continue to grow, and we celebrate what others may see as a small win, as well as the big win. So we just want to thank y'all. Is there anything you want to add?
No, you pretty much said it. We truly do appreciate all the love and support.
That makes me happy. And also, continue to tune in, because we will be doing a special episode for Thanksgiving as well. So, without further ado, we would like to reveal to you our pumpkin. If y'all were designing pumpkins with us for this episode, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, so that you can send us those pictures, and so that we can post them. Until next time, you all take care. And what do they need to do, Sweetness?
Stay lifted.
And what else? Groovy.
Hey.
Okay. What if it flew off? Y'all take care.